2020 is finally over, and we have to start asking the question, how are we going to be able to stand out in the freelancing industry in 2021 as a Filipino when there are so many freaking freelancers already in the universe? So this is what we're going to be talking about today, because in the past 3 years, just in the past 3 years that I've known the freelancing industry, there are so many things that happened, so many things that changed, and so many things that were not usual that are now common to our knowledge. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. So please stay at the end of the video so that I can give you all the tips that you need in order to prosper in 2021 in any type of freelancing service, right? So let's start. Number one of the things that I'm extremely surprised of in the past 3 years is the fact that people now understand that you can now get clients on Facebook groups. Like literally so many people now understand specifically that the way to go is Facebook groups, and you don't even need to get your Upwork profile approved because of this. And it's good, it's cool. I love how people are being more independent and taking charge of their freelancing business rather than relying on the middleman. We know, but it's also funny in a sense that yes, they do know that you can get clients on Facebook groups, but the complete problem is a lot of people don't even know how to market themselves. What do they do in these Facebook groups is that they come in, they don't read the rules, they don't follow the admins and the moderators, they just post there and say, hi, I'm a web designer, are you interested in my service? Click publish, they get banned, or the post is going to get approved, but no one is going to interact with it. There will be no engagement. And the reason is, I repeated this over and over again in so many of my videos, no one is going to ever buy from a stranger. And you have to stop thinking that way. If no one knows you, no one trusts you, no one likes you, no one is going to buy from you. And that is plain and simple, because we always go to Lazada and Shopee, and we never buy from Lazada and Shopee sellers that do not have reviews, right? It's a little bit more difficult to buy from a Shopee and Lazada seller that doesn't have a review, because we want to make sure that whatever we are buying stuff online, it's legit, right? And so that only makes sense. If someone is going to go to that Facebook group and say, hi, I'm a web designer, are you interested in my service? And no one's going to interact with you. And that's because they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you. And that is a very important element when you are trying to sell stuff online, right? And so what can you do to still use Facebook groups on 2021? Well, plain and simple, provide value to the group. And when I say provide value, that means you have to help the people in need there. Be active and do this what we call proactive membership. There's this something that we call proactive membership inside Create and Rise Academy. I teach this in module 4 mentees. If you're watching this, I don't need to repeat myself, and hopefully you are already in module 4. I'm talking about this in module 4, and I was talking about how you can easily get clients if you're just proactive in these Facebook groups that you are joining. So initially, first things first, you gotta identify what your niche is. And when you identify what your niche is and who you're going to serve, then you start searching for Facebook groups of those target people, right? So if you say you want to serve or you want to create graphic design for female entrepreneurs, then you start finding Facebook groups for female entrepreneurs. You join these Facebook groups, and then you can start doing the proactive membership. Proactive membership simply means that when someone asks for help, especially on graphic design, someone asks for something about graphic design, you go in there, you answer that specific question. Every time there's a question about graphic design, since graphic design is your niche, you go in there, you answer that question. And even if the question is not about graphic design, but is somehow related. You can say something about, hi, I'm a graphic designer and this perspective is coming from a graphic designer's perspective. This is how can I help, this is how exactly I can help you with in this specific matter, right? And so not only are you trying to build rapport and authority in terms of being a graphic designer in that very group, you're also trying to let them know that, hey, I'm a graphic designer. If you need my help, you might be interested in this and this and this. And it's not salesy because Freya is like, yes, what is it? Ay, Jesus. This is a life with a cat. I don't lock my doors when I'm recording videos because I don't want her to feel that she's shut out, you know? So we'll just have her in my videos. So I was talking about proactive membership and how you can create authority by just answering questions about graphic design. So it's not actually salesy if you do it that way, because then you're building authority in the most legal way possible, in the most ethical way possible. People are going to know that you're actually active in that group and you're helping people in terms of graphic design. So naturally, if someone is going to look for a graphic designer, the members there can tag you, even if they don't know you. That's what naturally happens. But fair warning, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. In building authority and in trying to build some sort of like proactive membership authority or experticism, what I call it, it doesn't happen overnight in a sense that you have to keep on doing it for a while until people are familiar of you in that very specific group. And that's something that requires time, you know, and it's not something that you can buy, right? Like it's something that you really need to invest your time on, and it's only worthwhile, right? Because I've had this experience wherein I did proactive memberships in the past, and I'm pretty much well known in some of the groups as a person who helps in graphic design. So when you are doing a proactive membership, there are two things that you need to also consider. The very first one is mission before commission, or what Gary Vee calls jab, 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 right hook. That means that you are giving value and you are not expecting for anything in return. You're not simply doing proactive membership because you are thinking at the end of the rainbow that you are going to get a client at some point, and then not getting it as soon as you wanted to get a client is really just going to disappoint you. And so when you are trying to do proactive membership, think about it as extremely helping the people who are in need, because you are capable of doing so, and it will add you a lot of points in heaven, period. Okay, don't even start thinking about like, oh, I'm just going to do this because I'm going to get a client later on. That's not how it works. Okay, it's simply very much similar to giving a tip to a delivery driver and not expecting for anything in return, because the delivery driver is not going to come back, right? Like the delivery driver that you booked for Grab today is really not going to come back to you unless there's only like 3 delivery drivers in your city. So that is something that you have to think about when you are doing a proactive membership. Second one is stop thinking about competition. There is no scarcity in quality. If you're going to do quality work and you are trying to promote yourself, naturally you will get clients that way, of course, plus extreme marketing strategies. But if, say, you are not really a person of quality, it's like being a bad fruit in a tree. You're really going to fall off, right? Naturally, you are going to fall off from this flock of freelancers, because you are not producing quality work. You are just simply, doing your freelance work for compliance and be like, bahala na, and then that's okay, that's done. I'm done with that project now. This client can leave my table. I can proceed to the next client right away. But if you are going to really extend your patience and serve the people that you are very much willing to serve, as in like serve in free will, and over deliver, of course you're not going to get competition. It's very hard to find someone nowadays, especially in the online world, that can actually produce quality products or quality services. And that's something that I've always been looking for. And it's very hard to find, especially here in the Philippines. Even restaurants don't even produce quality service. So even if there are so many restaurants here in the Philippines, or in Cebu per se, where I'm always eating, right? I would still look for a quality restaurant with a really good customer service. Special mention, Shakey's, Yellow Cab, like these people, they have really good quality customer service. And that would make me come back just because they provide quality service to you. It's the same thing with freelancing. If you provide quality service to the people that you're planning to serve, naturally they're going to come back to you. Naturally, you're going to recommend you to the other people that they know. That's going to bring you more clients. All right? And that's what it is for proactive membership, and that's something that you have to expect in 2021. There are so many people that's going to know about Facebook groups, be more and more and more, especially, there are so many people also that are talking about freelancing in videos these days, talking about Facebook groups and all that kind of stuff. You can expect that there will be a lot of people, but you can do your job as a marketer and try to implement better marketing strategies from here on forward. And speaking of a lot of freelancers, that my second point in this video is the fact that because of the pandemic, there are so many people that are already choosing to go freelancing. And is that a bad thing, right? There are so many people that are asking me, yeah, just because of this pandemic, I already know so many freelancers. I already know so many people that are working from home, doing VAs, doing graphic designs, all in that kind of stuff. And I said, why are you worried about it? Shouldn't you be focusing on your craft right now? Shouldn't you be focusing on upskilling? Shouldn't you be focusing on marketing yourself even further? Because yes, a lot of people know how to do freelancing. Only very few of them even know how to market themselves. And the thing is, if you don't know how to market yourself, no one is going to know what you're going to do. No one is going to know what you're good at, what possible services you're offering. And so that is your edge. And you're watching this video, that means something. You must have learned something. Please tell me that I'm not doing these videos for the sake of just making them. I do hope that you have learned a lot in my videos and you have applied them, and that only means that you got more edge than the rest of the freelancers out there. That only means that you're studying further. That only means that you're upskilling and you're wanting to learn more about freelancing and how you can better stand out because you're watching this video. Okay? Third point. In so many cases, I'm not saying all of the skills, but a lot of the best-selling skills are not anymore best-selling. They're not best-selling anymore, just like what I said. There is a lot of demand, and there are really some people that, they know how to market themselves well, and then they hit this premium clients. What we are talking about in terms of best-selling skills are like social media management, copywriting, all these things. And you'd think that if a person hears that you're a copywriter, they're going to hire you right away because it was an extremely rare skill back in the day, and so it went best-selling because it's a skill close to sale, right? That's what we mean by best-selling skills, is it's a skill close to sale. So skill close to sale meaning your skill is directly needed to create a direct sale. That means Facebook ads, copywriting, marketing strategies, marketing consultations, social media marketing, like all that kind of stuff are the skills that are direct to sale. What are the skills that are not direct to sale? Graphic design, website design, sometimes website design, right? Because they are needed by a business, but they're not actually there. They're not close to getting a sale because, when you're doing a graphic design, it's not necessarily it's like, oh my God, this is a very pretty graphic design. I'm going to buy your course. So it's not like that, right? But with copywriting, it's like, oh my God, this is a really good copywriting thing or copywriting article or an ad with a really good copywriting. I'm going to click on it because I know that there's something beneath this windows. Right? And that is a skill close to sale. Facebook ads, Same thing, right? In order to get a sale, you need to run ads. That's a skill close to sale. But in terms of like, for example, graphic design, you're not going to say something like, oh, you really need to be designing my Facebook cover photo because it's going to get me more sales. It's not like that. But you know, these skills are still very important because there are so many people that don't even know how to do that. There are so many people that are too busy to even do that kind of stuff. And so it's still important. I'm not saying that you're not going to be profitable with that. But, you know, we're coming to a point where the skills close to sale are, you know, there's already so many people that can do it. And now you need to be even better, right? Back in the day, you're going to talk about copywriting. You can find very few copywriters. But nowadays, talk about copywriting, there's so many who can do it. Okay? So this is what I'm talking about. Best-selling skills are not anymore best-selling because it's easy now to just simply like get a copywriter, your copywriter quit, you can find another one, right? So we're getting to that kind of point. I hope that I'm making sense here. It's more of like another metaphor that I can tell you is that talking about customer service. Back in the day, in terms of customer service representatives, like when BPO started landing in the Philippines, there are only a very few people that can actually do that, right? You're really trained to do so. And now, because of recruitment agencies, because of BPOs always hiring and always, you know, demanding for more customer service representatives, it's starting to get common. And the replaceability of customer service is starting to get easy, right? It's very easy to replace a customer service person. This is not meaning to offend anyone who is doing customer service out there. It's more of like a factual thing. You know, when you are resigning from your BPO job, it's very easy to replace you. That's what I mean, and that's just life, and that's true. And, you know, we're starting to pivot in that kind of regime wherein copywriters, you know, Facebook ads, and these people, you know, it's starting to get too many. And so, like what I said earlier, there is no scarcity in terms of quality. And if you are a copywriter, and there's so many copywriters out there, the best thing that you can do is simply, you know, be better at your work. Be better at your work, over deliver, right? And one thing, this is like one thing. This applies to everyone, even if your skill is not close to sale. Regardless who you are, what you're offering, who your target market is, please stop selling out of desperation. Just stop, you know? Like, you can smell that desperation from a mile away, and I'm not even going to say, you know, like how many times I've encountered this, wherein there's so many people that really want to be part of, like, the team that I have, but, you know, you want to help these people, but because they're so desperate, it's like sometimes it gives you that energy that you are doing a job out of compliance. You are doing a job out of hate, let's say, right? I'm not saying like everyone, but you can smell that kind of vibe and energy, and it's just not really healthy for everyone that you're working with. Because once you're desperate for something, it will manifest in all your kind of work. And it's like, if you don't love your job, and if you're just doing it for compliance, if you don't love your career and you're just doing it for compliance, most of the time, the service that you provide is really subpar quality, right? So it's much better if you are coming from a place of kindness and love when you are serving your clients, then it will really show in the services that you're providing. I have one mentee who created this website design for a client, and she talked about how crazy it is for a client to, you know, do an extra mile for her just because she also did an extra mile for a client, like literally extra miles, plural form, for that client. And so the client is also very much willing to do an extra mile for her, And that is just what we are here for. That is what we're advocating. If we wish to have an income without ceiling, then we have to, of course, serve coming from a place of love and kindness, and not because of, I'm desperate to make money, so and so. And it's okay if you're desperate, that's fine, right? I've been there, I've been in a place of desperation, and I hustled my way out of desperation. I was so desperate to make money because I was 40,000 pesos in debt, and that was okay, right? I was desperate, but still, I haven't forgotten that at the end of the day, this is also something that I learned, and hence it's something that I'm sharing to you, because I don't want you to do the same mistakes that I did when I was doing a service out of desperation. Back in the day, I was lowering and creating discounts just so I would have clients. And when clients eat the bait of discounts, then I would start resenting myself, and I would start, doing mediocre designs. And that's what happened, and so many times. And the only time that I was so happy about the career was when I was already charging $25 per hour. And that's when I was like, I'm going to make this super awesome because I am paid highly for this, right? And I'm going to make this everything out of love. And that's also when everything started to do a ripple effect for me. And of course, you can do the same. Alrighty. So those are some of the things that you can expect in 2021. It's not a lot. You can't expect for a year to change the entire thing. Regardless if it's a pandemic, the online world stays the same. A couple of changes here and there, but it's still relevant changes that you need to adapt to, especially the very first one, wherein people already know that you can actually find clients on Facebook groups. What are you going to do now, right? So I already told you that. Okay, so I hope that this video helped you. And if it did, and if you are very much interested in knowing more about digital marketing and how you can market yourself regardless what your business is, as long as it's online, baby, this is probably the place to be. What is happening with me today? This is the place to be. Gosh, Freya. And you will be able to learn more about digital marketing and how you can market your service or your product here in this channel. So make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Under the trees, I found a box of blackberries.